Off-target deposition of pesticides has always been of concern with applications, but as the new transgenic technologies are coming online, the auxin herbicides, dicamba and 2,4-D, ultra-low concentrations of these herbicides will be highly visible and could significantly impact crop yields. There are several factors that impact spray drift. Certainly, the droplet size is probably going to be the biggest issue there in terms of how small that droplet is. So if it's less than 150 microns, we consider it to be pretty subject to drift. Environmental conditions, obviously, as the wind, higher wind conditions would move those off target to a greater distance. And then the boom height at which the applicator is applying the pesticide, so the height of the droplet exiting the orifice to the target, as that increases, you increase the potential for drift. And then certainly pressure would impact that, so the spray pressure that you were spraying at. We kind of say, I think there's going to be a minimum threshold on these herbicides of 3 miles an hour, so you got to have a little bit of wind movement to try to mitigate the potential of having a temperature inversion or spray inversion and moving those spray droplets. There's several things to consider in a drift management plan. One would be the herbicides that you're going to be applying, the proximity of sensitive crops to those, and as I mentioned, the active ingredient itself. So some herbicides, as we increase the droplet size with some of the newer spray tips that we're utilizing to mitigate drift, we also could be impacting efficacy. So the contact herbicides, things like glufosinate or Liberty, paraquat, gramoxone, those kinds of things are contact herbicides, so smaller droplets are better in terms of efficacy. Some of the other herbicides like glyphosate or Roundup, dicamba or Clarity, 2,4-D seem to be less impacted by droplet size than some of the other herbicides. So there's going to be the environmental conditions, proximity, sensitive crops, all of those kinds of things are going to impact what spray tips and those kinds of things you can utilize to mitigate off-target deposition.